It sounds counterintuitive, but higher taxes actually raise the wages of working class people. Check it out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Who's listening on KBCS, non-commercial station, which carries our show in Shoreline, Washington. Hey, Daniel, what's up?
Hi, Tom. The other day on Facebook, you posted something about Reagan, how he had dropped the highest income tax rate from, I think it was 78 or something, to 24%. And
74 to 25.
25, yeah. And they kind of insinuated that this was the beginning of the demise of the middle class. And I was trying to explain that to my wife, and she has this thing about if you raise the tax rate too high, nobody has an incentive to work. But I was wondering if you could give me a little primer on that. How did it go from there, dropping the tax rate to the demise of the middle class?
Well, yes, if people are taxed at 100%, nobody's going to work. that makes common sense. But number one, the first thing that most people miss in this whole debate, and it's intentional, the billionaires want you to miss it, is that we have a progressive graduated tax system. So, you know, if you're making $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000 a year, you pay very little in income taxes. You make $30,000, $40,000 a year, you pay a little bit in income taxes. You're making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, now you're starting to pay a little more in income taxes. You make $1 million, $2 million, $3 million a year, and now you're paying 37%. And back in the day, if it was over $3 million a year, back when Reagan came into office, you would have been paying 74%, which is where, Lyndon Johnson put it in 1967. It used to be 91%. Didn't mean that those rich people who were making $3 million a year stopped working. What it meant was they stopped taking any more than $3 million a year. And, because above that, the taxes were essentially confiscatory. And so what did they do? Since they're not taking that money out of their companies, they kept that money in the company. They paid their workers better. They developed new products. They expanded their business. They cleaned up their act. I mean, they did the things that companies used to do before the Reagan era. Now, companies don't do any of those things. American workers haven't gotten a raise since 1981. In fact, the average worker has seen their wages go down, inflation adjusted. It's the average household income. When you Google this stuff, and it gets particularly deceptive when you kick around Wikipedia and whatnot. But basically, the average household income is about where it was when Reagan came into office. But the average household has more than 2 people working in it, whereas back in 1980, it was 1.2 or 1.3 people working in the average household. So wages have actually gone down. The other thing is that for working class people, for rich people, when taxes are cut, their money, the money that they take home actually goes up because they control how much they get paid. But for working people, when taxes are cut, their wages will go down over the next few years because they're now taking home more money. And the labor market is a take-home money market. It's a post-tax market. So, if you're making 30 grand a year and your employer knows that you're taking home 25 as a result of that, and you get a tax cut, so now you're taking home 27, your employer is going to figure out a way over the next 3 years to lower your income by $2,000 or hire somebody, with a take-home pay of $25,000, which might now be $28,000 in pay, because that's the new definition of what the marketplace will bear, basically, the labor marketplace. So as taxes go down on working people, so do wages. And as taxes go up on working people, wages go up too.